What is going on, my salty little home gymmers? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be doing one of my favorite things to do on this channel, and that is compare two machines. And the two machines I have picked, I think, are one, comparable, and two, the standouts in their category. That category being selectorized, commercial blended with home gym Smith machine. It's a very specific category, but it's a category that is growing. One of these machines is going to be the B52 Pro, and the other machine is going to be the Ritfit BPC06. Got a bunch of different categories here we're going to talk about. I'm going to tell you which one is my overall pick in that category outside of their price comparison and their size comparison. But both of these machines are great machines. Honestly, it was super hard to pick. I have put a lot of thought into each category. I'm going to answer which is my pick in each of these categories like someone's holding a gun to my head and making me choose. I don't know why that would ever happen, but that's the scenario that we're playing out today. So first thing we're going to talk about is the price of these two machines, which is, like I said, honestly kind of a little crazy how far apart in price they are. But I suppose when you take into account that one is very much bigger than the other one, I guess it kind of makes sense. The Ritfit BPC06 is coming in at $3599.99, so about $3,600. It's definitely going to be the more expensive between the two, with the Major Fitness B52 Pro coming in at $2499.99, so about $2,500. So like I said, Ritfit has the significantly larger machine between these two, and that's going to lead me to my next talking point, my next comparison, which is the size difference between these two machines. So the Ritfit BPC06 is coming in at a width of 53.9 inches. And the rack width, including the Smith bar, is 79.9 inches. Now the Major Fitness B52 Pro, it is obviously the smaller of the two racks. It seems to be kind of a trend with Major Fitness. They're very space-saving racks, which is cool if you have a small space. It's gonna have a total rack width, including the Smith bar, at about 78.7 inches. So just a couple inches difference between these two width-wise, which is very surprising because as they sit next to each other, they're both in front of me right now, they just don't appear like they compare width-wise. It definitely seems like Major Fitness is far more narrow. All right, so I just did a measurement myself, possibly as to a reason why these appear totally different widths is because some of these width measurements without the Smith machine might be including band bars and things like that. So I measured Major Fitness B52 Pro's front post from inside to inside of each front post, and it's about 43 inches. And Ritfit's from the inside of the left front post to the inside of the right front post is about 48 inches. So a significant difference there, and also a significant difference in height. The Ritfit rack standing at 87.1 inches, and the Major Fitness rack standing at just 82.6 inches. So low ceiling people, this is the rack for you. Now for you people that have high ceilings or a nice open space that you're trying to pick between these two machines, well then stick around. Durability and stability, I'm putting these two together because I think they're very similar. First of all, as I'm gonna say a lot, both of these are just fantastic in that category. Both of these are really holding their own. Both racks are over 700 pounds of weight, so both of them very sound, very stable. Major Fitness Pro model, which includes upgraded 12 gauge steel front post and a great coating and a lot of materials here, a lot of weight in this rack, like I said earlier. So really a good home gym device for stability. However, even though very, 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 very close, it just doesn't quite compare to the stability that I felt in the Ritfit rack, obviously, probably because this is the significantly larger of the two. Also, if you take into account the Smith machine and the two cylinder posts in the back, this is about a 8-post rack total, plus all the weight that is included. It is just absolutely a sound structure, and it is what a advertised commercial grade product for the home gym is supposed to feel like. So I'm gonna have to give the durability and stability category to Ritfit, but like I said, it's close. Man, it's just so close in every category. Now, the front rack, like I said, both of these racks, very stable. So I guess I'll talk about the Major Fitness rack first, as we've talked about in my other videos, which you can go check out. The Major Fitness Pro models, like I said, are upgraded. The Major Fitness B52 Pro comes with those 12 gauge steel front posts, as we talked about before. They are 3 by 2 inch, and they come with upgraded 1-inch holes, and they come with that upgraded 31 1-inch holes. Not only do they come upgraded, but Major Fitness also has a big line of attachments that are specifically made for their racks, which include shoulder raises, leg extensions, you name it. And another thing that I just loved about this rack on Major Fitness is the standard rack attachments that you get with it, that being the J-hooks, the spotter arms are just so solid. They come with a pin to lock them in so you don't have to worry about them rattling or anything. Just a great front rack on display here. Now the Ritfit BPC06 also does present a very good front rack. It's got a stainless steel coating on the outside that is just very difficult to penetrate or scratch up or mark up. Front posts are 2x2. They're made of 13 gauge steel, but they are 2x2. They do come with less holes to them, and the attachments that are included in the rack, although are good, they're decent, and I stand by my statement that they're decent in the video. They're just not quite as quality, and I mean it's this close. They're just not quite as quality as the Major Fitness B52 Pro front rack attachments that are included, that being the J-hooks, the spotter arms, things of that nature. If I had to choose, I gotta go with the Major Fitness rack. So even though Ritfit takes it in the stability category, I gotta go with the Major Fitness B52 Pro for the front rack, and that might not make a lot of sense, but I just feel that Major Fitness's rack is just a little more versatile. Doing a lot of talking in this one. Now, the cable. This is probably going to be the most watched section of this video. This is the most important category, isn't it? This is the thing that made you glance at this rack first, because it has that nice selectorized cable. No more do you have to put plates on your rack cable. The Major Fitness B52 cable is a selectorized cable. It has 170 pounds worth of weight on it, and it operates on a 2-to-1 ratio. So if you're not familiar with those ratios, as I've explained in my prior videos, 2-to-1 ratio just means you're gonna feel half of the weight that you select, which makes this kind of a bit of a cable system on the light side. But what's also upgraded on the Pro model is your aluminum pulleys. Now the Ritfit BPC06 model comes with a 130-pound weight stack, 10-pound increments, and they operate on a 1-to-1 ratio. And on the BPC06, also included is those aluminum pulleys. They're just all the rage now. They make a rack so much smoother. If you're wondering if there's a big difference between those nylon or plastic pulleys and those aluminum pulleys, there's a huge difference. The Ritfit BPC06 cable is just leaps and bounds better than the BPC05 cable, which is its predecessor. Whew. So both of these cable systems are fantastic, but I think going to have to give the victory to the Major Fitness B52 Pro. I'm sorry, the Major Fitness B52 Pro smoothness is just absolutely out of this world. It is one of the smoothest cable smith machines for the home gym I've ever used, and combined with the selectorized option, it just makes it a fantastic cable machine. There are disadvantages to the Major Fitness B52 Pro's cable system, and that being its light weight stack, which Ritfit's rack honestly doesn't have a crazy amount more, but it does operate on that 1-to-1 ratio. So your heaviest pull down is gonna be heavier than Major Fitness B52 Pro's heaviest pull down. Like I said, both of these cables, just phenomenal cables. I just gotta give it to the Major Fitness one here because it is just absolute butter. All right, next category is the Smith machine. These machines are very well-rounded, very good machines. So I'm not gonna complain a whole lot about these machines. I really didn't complain about them that much in my review. First, I'm gonna start with the Major Fitness B52 Pro, which has a very dense, thick bar on their Smith machine. It's very smooth. Honestly, both of these Smith machines are very smooth. The one thing that I do love about Major Fitness's machine is with the B52 Pro, you get that upgraded feature, which has the storage spot at the top. It's quite heavy. I'd say this one's probably about like a 55-pound bar. The tensile strength on this bar, I think, is is really impressive. Now, the benefits of the Ritfit Smith machine is that, number one, your space that you can actually use the Smith machine is significantly wider, all right? It does come with a pretty standard bar that feels like a true weight of 45 pounds. Neither one of these machines are counterbalanced, so the weight that I'm telling you is about the weight you're gonna feel. The knurling on the Ritfit machine is just slightly better, but man, I do like the wide base on this thing. But this is the one and only category I promise, that I'm gonna have to tie in. You're gonna have to shoot me on this one because, you know, they're both great Smith machines, and I just really can't pick one over the other. I've given you the strengths of both of them, and I'll let you decide what is more important to you. Now, a category that I added, and the reason that I added this is because I am tired of complaining about certain storage features on racks. So we've all heard me complain about how I think the biggest flaw in these machines is how the plate storage is on the back of the machines. With Major Fitness, theirs is directly in the back. Not a huge fan. Another thing that I'm not a fan of with Major Fitness's storage features, and this isn't something that I noticed for my review, this is something that came later, is that some of the plate horns, when you put heavier plates on them, like 45, those plate horns will actually start to walk inward towards the rack because they are at kind of an incline, and when you put those plates on there, those plate horns walk down. And what this does is it causes the caps that are at the end of these plate horns to pop off. Now, there does seem to be a certain amount of distance, like a max amount of distance that they will walk down. They seem to stop where the arch is. So they're still very much fully functional, but be expecting, unless they make improvements after this video, which very well may happen, be expecting to lose one or two of those caps, but still be fully functional. They do have 4 hooks in the back for attachments, which is nice, but it really doesn't compare to what Ritfit has going on. Ritfit has this board here. I have very much expressed to Ritfit that they need to get more hooks for this giant pegboard style attachment space, but I just like this kind of thing a lot more. I'm also gonna give it to them on their plate horns, because although they did put them on the back of the rack, which I just gotta keep complaining about, they are kind of canted out to the side a little bit, and they don't have any issues. So I'm gonna give the extra storage features of these two. I'm gonna give that category to Ritfit on this one. All right. That's all the categories I'm really gonna go into. If you have any questions on anything, let me know down in the comments. Also reference my 2 review videos of both of these machines. I didn't have a whole lot negative to say about either one of these machines because, like I said, they're both great machines, which is why I'm really not gonna pick my overall pick. But I think there's strong arguments for both. I think both of these are very impressive. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe. As I always say, I got a lot of good stuff coming. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave me a comment, let me know you're here, and leave any questions you have for me in the comments.